In the dim back corner of an old marionette theater sat a wooden puppet named Ash. He was carved in the softest pine, joints perfectly grooved for graceful gestures, cheeks painted a permanent blush. From his earliest memory, Ash knew he could think as the others chattered in their crates, reminding him this was a special gift. Yet, Ash never wanted it. He watched the puppeteer's hands descend and felt the comfort when thin strings tightened his limbs, guiding him without thought from step to step. His ideal was simple. True peace lay in the gentle tide of obedience, never questioning, drifting as the current chose. The puppeteer always whispered promises. You'll never have to choose, Ash. You'll never feel the pain of a mistake. With every performance, Ash felt the audience's laughter and applause pass through him, filtered by the strings. The applause belonged not to him, but to the subtle mastery above. At night, the box was his sanctuary, a silent, velvet cradle where he could wait in the safe darkness. Thoughts pressed occasionally, tapping at the edge of his consciousness like rain on a window. Who am I when the hands are gone? What if I'm not just a thing to be moved? Ash would always hush the thoughts, nestling deeper into the soft lining. It was so much easier, and safer, to surrender everything. The other puppets sometimes whispered of their dreams, freedom to move, to fall, to learn the world through trial. Ash smiled politely but clung tightly to his inertia, certain that freedom was simply chaos in disguise. Then, on a restless night, the urge grew too loud to ignore. Ash, trembling, lifted what he imagined was his thinking cap, an act that took all his strength. Inside the box, in the cramped near silence, he allowed the forbidden spark of independent thought to flicker and flare. In the privacy of his mind, Ash began to see the invisible bruises carved under his paint, the splintered bits of limb hidden beneath artful repairs. He remembered the odd anguish when his strings pulled too tight or jerked him through forced smiles. Most chilling of all, Ash recalled the puppet master's shadow looming large, altering him, reshaping his joints, so he could never quite turn his head away, always perfectly pliable, ever more a pleasing image than a self. The certainty and comfort dissolved. What he thought was safety, he now saw as a cocoon where he traded his voice for ease. Inside his box, Ash sat still. He wept without tears, the ache of awakening colder than anything he'd felt before. In his small wooden heart, a battle began, craving the return to unthinking comfort but unable to ignore the terrible clarity now that he'd seen the truth. Morning crept under the lid of the box. Ash stared up into the darkness, torn and raw, knowing he would never again be only a puppet on a string. He could not yet move on his own, but the yearning for choice, a terrifying, honest yearning, had rooted within him. Now let me ask you, are you like that puppet on a string?